You need to move. Now. The gate agent's manicured finger jabbed toward economy, while her other hand clutched Marcus Thompson's first-class boarding pass, like evidence of a crime. There's obviously been some kind of mistake. The words dripped with the kind of casual cruelty that comes from never being challenged. Marcus stood perfectly still, measured his breathing. Behind him, phones lifted, recording. The Atlanta airport buzzed with its usual chaos, but a pocket of silence had formed around Gate B7. "Ma'am, I purchased this ticket 3 weeks ago," Marcus said, his voice carrying the controlled dignity of someone who'd navigated these waters before. "There's no mistake." The agent, whose name tag read Patricia, supervisor, actually laughed, a sharp sound that cut through the terminal. "Sir, I've been doing this for 15 years. I know when something doesn't fit." Her eyes traveled from his simple black sweater to his worn leather shoes. Not designer, not flashy, deliberate choices. "First class is completely full. You'll need to accept the economy seat or find another flight." Patricia's voice carried louder now, performing for an audience. Several business-suited passengers in the first-class line shifted uncomfortably. None spoke. Marcus glanced at his watch. Swiss. Understated, the only hint. 11:47 a.m. The board meeting was at 3:30. In 43 minutes, Patricia's world would shatter. But she didn't know that yet. Earlier that morning, Marcus had dressed carefully in his hotel room. The Ritz-Carlton's floor-to-ceiling windows framed Atlanta's skyline, but his attention stayed on his reflection. The designer suits hung in the closet, untouched. The Rolex sat in its case. He pulled on the black sweater his daughter had given him for Christmas. The comfortable shoes he'd worn to her graduation. Today required a different kind of armor. His phone buzzed. Claire, his chief operations officer. "Jet's ready whenever you want it, Marcus. Sure you want to fly commercial?" He'd smiled at the irony. "Sometimes you need to see how your company really operates." Claire didn't know about the complaints. 3 letters in 2 weeks, all variations of the same theme. Black passengers randomly selected for additional screening. First-class tickets mysteriously invalid. Upgrades that vanished. Marcus owned 42% of Southeastern Airlines. Time to see his investment up close. The Uber driver had chatted pleasantly about the weather. Marcus gave him 5 stars and a $100 tip. Small kindnesses mattered more when you knew what was coming. At security, he'd been randomly selected. Of course. The TSA agent, a young black woman named Keisha, had been professional but tired. She'd seen his executive platinum card, raised an eyebrow, said nothing. Marcus made a mental note. Keisha would be getting a promotion. Now, standing at Gate B7, watching Patricia's performance escalate, Marcus felt the familiar weight of choosing his moment. A white businessman behind him cleared his throat. "Excuse me, but this gentleman was clearly here first." Patricia's hand shot up. "Sir, I'll handle this. We have procedures." She turned back to Marcus, speaking slowly, as if to a child. "Security can escort you to economy if necessary. Security, always security. The threat that hung over every interaction." Marcus noticed the young gate agent beside Patricia. Her name tag read Jennifer-Trainee. She looked uncomfortable, eyes darting between Patricia and Marcus. Learning. This was how it spread. Generation to generation. Lesson to lesson. "Jennifer," Marcus said quietly. The trainee startled. "What do you think should happen here?" Patricia stepped between them. "Do not address my staff." "Jennifer, call security. Now." Jennifer's hand moved toward the phone, stopped. The system shows his ticket as valid, Patricia. First class, seat 2A. Patricia's face darkened. The system can be wrong. Make the call. More phones raised. The businessman behind Marcus had started recording too. A flight attendant walking past slowed, recognized something in Marcus's bearing, whispered urgently into her phone. Marcus pulled out his own phone, not to record, to text. One word to Claire. Now. The airport intercom crackled. Attention all Southeastern Airlines staff. Please stand by for an urgent announcement from corporate. Patricia ignored it, focused on her performance. I don't care if you have to drag him. The intercom continued. This is Claire Richardson, Chief Operations Officer. All staff at Gate B7, please note that Mr. Marcus Thompson, CEO and majority owner of Southeastern Airlines, is currently at your gate. Please extend every courtesy, silence, complete, devastating. Patricia's face drained of color. The boarding.
Pass slipped from her fingers, floating to the ground like a white flag. Jennifer's mouth opened, closed, opened again. Mr. Thompson? Marcus bent, picked up his boarding pass, smoothed it carefully. Patricia. Just her name, nothing more needed. The audience exhaled collectively. Someone whispered, "Holy shit." Another person laughed nervously. The phones kept recording. Patricia's hands shook. The system didn't show. Your profile. My profile? Marcus let the words hang. What about my profile indicated I couldn't afford first class? She had no answer that wouldn't destroy her. They both knew it. The businessman who'd tried to help stepped forward. That was incredible. Are you really the CEO? Marcus turned slightly. Sometimes. Today I'm just a passenger trying to board a plane. He looked back at Patricia. A passenger you were ready to have arrested for existing while black? In first class. Jennifer found her voice. Mr. Thompson, I'm so sorry. You should have followed your training. Your real training, not what Patricia taught you today. He addressed both of them but kept his eyes on Jennifer. Tell me, how many times this week has this happened? How many passengers were moved? Downgraded? Humiliated? Jennifer glanced at Patricia, who stood frozen. 3, maybe 4. Maybe 4. Marcus repeated it, letting it sink in. In 1 week, at one gate. He pulled out his phone again, scrolled. I have complaints going back months. Different gates, different agents, same pattern. The crowd had grown. Other gate agents, flight attendants, ground crew, all watching Patricia shrink. Mr. Thompson, Patricia started, voice cracking. Please, I have 2 kids. I need this job. Your kids. Marcus nodded slowly. What do you teach them? About treating people? About who belongs where? She started crying. Genuine tears now, not performance. Marcus felt no satisfaction, only exhaustion. I'm not firing you today, Patricia. That would be too easy, too clean. Hope flickered in her eyes. Instead, you're being transferred to our new Diversity and Inclusion Task Force. You'll spend the next year visiting schools, talking to kids about discrimination. Your kids' school first. You'll explain what you did today, what you've been doing, why it was wrong. Patricia's face crumpled. You'll take sensitivity training. Real training, not the online checkbox version. You'll shadow black employees in senior positions. You'll learn their names, their stories, their worth. He turned to Jennifer. You're being promoted. Effective immediately. Senior gate supervisor. Patricia will report to you. Jennifer gasped. Sir, I don't have the experience. You have integrity. That's harder to teach. His phone buzzed. Claire again. The board wants an emergency meeting. He ignored it, faced the crowd. Every person here with a phone who recorded this, you're witnessing something important. Not justice, not yet. Just one moment where someone had enough power to push back. Most people don't. The boarding announcement crackled overhead. First class would begin momentarily. Marcus looked at his watch. 12:30 p.m. 43 minutes, exactly as predicted. Patricia, you'll board me now, properly, the way you should have the first time. She moved mechanically to the scanner, took his boarding pass with trembling hands. Welcome aboard, Mr. Thompson. Enjoy your flight, her voice barely a whisper. I will now. He walked past her, paused. Your kids. What are their names? Brittany and Marcus. She looked up, surprised. Marcus, like you. Then you have even more work to do. He moved toward the jet bridge. Behind him, conversations exploded. The businessman caught up. That was the most incredible thing I've ever seen. Can I buy you a drink on the flight? Marcus smiled. I own the airline. Drinks are on me. In first class, he settled into seat 2A. The flight attendant, the same one who'd recognized him earlier, leaned close. We've been waiting for someone to do something about Patricia for months. Thank you. Don't thank me. I let it go on too long. He pulled out his laptop. But that changes today. The plane filled. He spotted Patricia through the window, standing at the gate, staring at nothing. Jennifer beside her, already taking charge, directing passengers with newfound confidence. His phone lit up with notifications, the video already spreading. CEO destroys racist gate agent, trending. He turned it off. This wasn't about viral fame. The pilot's voice filled the cabin. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Captain Williams. We have a very special passenger today. Mr. Thompson, thank you for choosing to fly with us commercially. Your presence means more than you know. Applause rippled. Through first class. Marcus raised his hand slightly. Enough. The businessman from the gate, now seated across the aisle, leaned over. What you did back there, it matters. My daughter, she's dealt with this stuff. Different airline, same story. Tell me about it, Marcus said, and listened, really listened. For the next hour, as they climbed to cruising altitude, passenger after passenger shared their stories. A lawyer denied upgrades despite status. A doctor randomly searched every flight. A teacher told she was in the wrong terminal when trying to board first class. Marcus took notes. Every story, every name, every incident. The flight attendant brought him coffee. Patricia's not unique, you know. She's just obvious about it. I know. That's the problem. He pulled up his laptop, started typing. A company-wide memo, effective immediately. New policies, new training, new consequences, real consequences. His phone buzzed, a text from his daughter. Dad, saw the video. Proud of you. But why didn't you use the jet? He typed back. Sometimes you have to walk through the fire to understand how hot it burns. She responded immediately. Fortune cookie wisdom? Really? He laughed. The first genuine laugh all day. The businessman across the aisle noticed. Good news? My daughter, keeping me humble. How old? 24. Just started law school. Says she's going to sue airlines for discrimination. Marcus smiled. I told her she could start with mine. The plane descended toward Charlotte. Marcus looked out at the city sprawling below. Somewhere down there in a conference room, his board waited. They'd want damage control, PR strategies. He'd give them revolution instead. Patricia would become the face of their new program. Not fired, but transformed. Or trying to transform. It would be harder than losing her job. Jennifer would rise, fast. She'd make mistakes, learn, grow. In 5 years, she'd be running operations. The pilot announced their descent. Marcus closed his laptop. The work would never end. But today something shifted. Small. Significant. In the terminal at Charlotte, he walked past another gate, another scene unfolding, another passenger being questioned. He stopped, made eye contact with the gate agent. She recognized him, stepped back, let the passenger through. Word traveled fast. His phone rang. Claire. The video has 12 million views. The board is freaking out. Good. Fear motivates change. Marcus, they want you to apologize for the disruption, for not going through proper channels. He laughed, hard. I own the proper channels. Tell them I'll be there in an hour, with a list of demands. Demands? You're the CEO. Exactly. Time they remembered that. He hung up, walked toward the exit. His driver waited, holding a sign that read, Mr. Thompson. Professional. Respectful. The opposite of everything that morning. In the car, he pulled up the video, watched Patricia's face at the moment of recognition, the exact second her world shifted. He'd seen that look before. In mirrors, boardrooms, country clubs. The moment when someone realizes the person they'd dismissed had power. Real power. But power wasn't the point. Change was. His phone lit up with interview requests, CNN, Fox, MSNBC, all wanting the story. He deleted them all, typed one final message to Claire. Set up a town hall. All employees. Mandatory. We're going to talk about who we serve and who we are. The car pulled up to Southeastern Airlines headquarters. Modern glass and steel, reaching toward the sky. His company. His responsibility. Inside, the board waited in their mahogany prison. Old white men who'd never been denied a seat, never been randomly selected, never been escorted by security for existing. He straightened his simple black sweater, worn leather shoes clicking on marble. The security guard, a young black man, nodded with recognition, not from any employee photo, from the video. "Afternoon, Mr. Thompson." "Give them hell." Marcus paused. "What's your name?" "David, sir. David Williams. Related to Captain Williams?" "My uncle, sir." "Good man. Tell him I said so." David beamed. "Will do." The elevator rose, 30 floors of possibility, or 30 floors of the same old patterns. The choice was his. Had always been his. He'd just been too comfortable to make it. The doors opened. Claire waited, professional in her navy suit. "They're scared, Marcus." "The stock price." "We'll recover, or it won't. Either way, we're doing this." She smiled, the first real smile he'd seen from her in months. "About damn time." They walked toward the boardroom together. Through the glass doors he could see them. His board, his employees, his problem to solve. Patricia would be in orientation now, learning. Jennifer would be, managing her first shift. Nervous but determined. David would go home, tell his family about meeting the CEO. Small moments, tiny changes, but change nonetheless. He opened the door. 12 faces turned, worried, anxious, guilty. "Gentlemen," Marcus said, pulling out his chair, "we need to talk about who belongs in first class." The question hung in the air, heavy, necessary. Outside, Atlanta sprawled under a perfect sky. Inside, the real flight was just beginning. What would you do if you had the power to change things? Would you use it? Or would you stay comfortable in your first-class seat, ignoring the people being turned away at the gate? Comment below. Subscribe for more stories of justice and transformation, because these aren't just stories. They're happening every day, in every airport, every business, every interaction. The only question is, which side of the gate are you on?